Hello and welcome back. It is now week 2, and you might have noticed that the thumbnail has changed. That is because all of this week I will be talking about, for the next 7 days, I will be talking about a little adventure that I'm doing. It's called Divas, Women's Centre Cornwall, part of Women's Centre Cornwall. So it is a somewhat company in Cornwall, England, and basically we are a group of women with disabilities, and we've gone through some really troubling, tough times with relationships and with our families, and we want to talk to other women and young girls about our experiences and teach them how to stay safe in life. We are looking directly at young women and girls with any kind of disability or autism and anything like that to talk to. We're kind of looking somewhat about the age of 12 and upwards, maybe 13 and upwards, but we are also doing not just other women and girls with the problems. We're looking at talking to the police, the health service, anyone else, any professional people who are in any way related to domestic abuse and other things like that, but who will likely experience dealing with an autistic person or someone with any kind of disability. Because even though during the time of dealing with a troubling experience like domestic abuse, that person's going to be shocked and likely not wanting to talk properly or anything like that. It's even worse if you have a disability or you're autistic because of the problems that arise. I mean, a lot of police officers will be asking for names, dates, details. That's tricky to do if you're neurotypical or you don't have a disability in the first place. It's even worse if you have a disability or are autistic, because you struggle to do that on a daily basis as it is anyway. So being stressed out, like being scared of your partner or whoever has done any kind of abusiveness to you, or just being scared in general, it's going to put it into a state where it's even worse for you to talk about what's just happened to you. So what we do is we say, this is our experience, this is our problem, this is what we've had, here's how you can help us. Here's how we want to see you guys helping people like us. Because yes, some of us might be easy to deal with and some of us won't be. Like, take, for example, you have a certain set of questions that will determine whether or not you need an officer to come to your home and check up on you every other day or every week after this incident. Someone like me might respond in a certain way that would tick off the fact that I don't need help. Like, say the question was, how do you feel about this? I might respond with, well, how do you think I feel? Sort of thing. And that would tick off the fact that I don't need help, because I'm acting in a way that anyone else would react. However, that does not mean I don't still need that extra support. That's what we're pointing out. That's what we're saying. We're saying how just because you get this response doesn't mean say they need help. Look deeper. So we're basically just coming together with our experiences, finding common ground in our experiences, and then saying, well, how did your experience be better than hers? How did your experience not help you? How did your experience become bad compared to hers? What can they do to make it better? And we just put it forward to the police and everyone else like that and show the police what's going on. I do have plans to talk to some of the officers afterwards in our final training session in a few weeks' time. I also have plans to video the last session that we have. I will not be videoing the whole thing. Please do not expect me to be showing the actual training session we do, because it is very real life, very touching, and I don't want to throw out their experiences to the world, especially not without fair warning to the women involved. The thing I will be recording is the beginning section where everyone's coming in, they're taking seats. I will probably be going around checking that they're okay to be filmed and asking them a few questions about how they feel, and then I'll be skipping to the end of it and going back to those ones that were okay to be filmed, asking them how they feel now, after. That's what I'll be covering, and that is only what I'll be covering, just so you know that if I do cover it, that's all I'll be covering. There is a chance that even though I'm looking to do this for 7 days, I might revisit it when the session comes through, because timings and everything, I'm not going to be able to fit our next training session into this 7 days. Just so you know. If there's anything that you think I should talk about next week, after these 7 days, please let me know. I do have an idea to cover the other program that I'm in, which is Us 2, which is the same kind of venture as Divas, but it's more based on healthy relationships, what's a healthy relationship, and what's an unhealthy relationship, and we'll be talking to young women and girls. I mean, we probably won't just be talking to young women and girls, but that is who we will be directly looking at and directly putting it to, because of the fact that we know that it's not just young women and girls that need the information, it's boys too, but because it is a women's centre, we kind of focus a little bit more on just women and girls, because everyone starts to have a little bit of a go if you start including boys. It's like, no, you shouldn't be including boys in this, you're a women's centre, no boys allowed. Understandable. Anyway, so that's the plan, that's what Divas is. If you are within the Cornwall area of England and you know someone with a mental disability, a physical disability, autism, or anything along those lines that you feel is in some level of danger, or you feel could do with a little extra sex education or mental health and relationship education just to keep them safe. We're not going to be kind of like encouraging a lot of stuff. We're just doing this to keep them safe, sort of thing. If you feel like they need it, please refer them to it. There will be a link to the Women's Centre's address in the description of this video if you feel that you know someone that needs this sort of thing. If you run a school within the Cornwall area of England, then please hit that address and contact Dina Holder and ask for an overview of the teaching that we'll be doing to young women and girls, and see if you feel like, well, don't just see if you feel like it'll be a good thing. Please consider putting the program in as an assembly for about your year 8, year 9s, something like that, maybe year 10s, because we feel that every girl, every woman needs to know, because while sex education at school is great, some of us feel that the sex education is just too pinpoint. It doesn't cover everything need to know. Like, I still don't know what makes a great relationship. I still don't know all the behaviours required or the behaviours that should be expected in a good relationship, partly because of the fact that my sex education being on the mainstream line was so pinpoint in, this is what a girl is, this is what a boy is, this is what their sex organs look like, and right, boys, you're going to go away and talk about your sex organs, and the girls are going to stay here and talk about theirs. This is how a man makes a baby in a woman, this is how a baby's made, and this is where the eggs come from, and all that sort of thing. It was just great to know. Great to know. But how do I know that that guy's not a... How do I know that guy's going to stay? How do I know that that guy isn't going to leave? How do I know that that guy's a good guy to be with? And how do I stop my relationship, because I'm autistic, from being and becoming toxic? How do I stop a toxic relationship from occurring? They just didn't want to touch on it. They were told not to touch on stuff like that because it's not part of the curriculum. It's not part of the sex education stuff. Your age group shouldn't know about that. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow. Have fun. Don't forget to refer or have a look at the site below. Any further questions about Divas and whether or not we'll be a good fit or what we do. I obviously cannot give certain details because certain stuff is confidential, and I will not be talking about legitimate stories or anything like that. I will just be outlining the key points from those stories. But any questions about it, let me know down below. So yeah, I will see you tomorrow. See ya.